Does your microphone sound like this, but you want it to sound like this, and you don't have a big budget, and you don't want to download Voicemeeter Banana? Well, stay tuned. Hey guys, what is up? Spiff here. And the other day I was playing with my buddy D-Lo. I'm going to link his Twitch down below. Awesome guy. And we're having a talk about microphones. He just upgraded his microphone for a streaming setup. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great microphone. That's the same one I use. And he was like, no way, dude. I thought your microphone was way more professional because it sounds so good. And I was like, no, dude, same exact microphone. I just do certain things to make it sound better. So I told him I'd walk him through the steps, and I was like, you know what? Might as well just make a video about it. Seeing as how I'm going to go through and clean up my audio a little bit because it sounds a little bit muddy. I don't know if you could tell that deepness, that's like not good deepness. That's what we call mud. So mine sounds a little bit muddy. So I'm going to go through and clean it up, which is something you should do probably every like 2 months or so. Just as your room changes with different furniture, the room noise gets different. And it's a good thing to do on occasion to make sure that your stream is as high quality as possible. So that's what we're going to do today. But for those of you that are maybe in the market for a new microphone and you want to do it on a budget, I'll show you guys the microphone that I have and what I believe you should buy with it, and basically just give you my thoughts and opinions on microphones. First things first, if you're not even Twitch affiliate and you're looking to upgrade your microphone, that's a good thing. Everybody should have you should have a high quality stream if you're looking to make it into a career or something like that. But you don't need to spend a lot of money to get quality. You just have to sometimes do a little bit extra work, and it will pay off for you in the end because you won't have all this overhead. So if you're a young kid and maybe your budget's tight, then this is the route to go. Okay, so in Amazon, type in condenser microphone. That's the type of microphone that you want. That's the best microphone for like vocals and things like that. And scrolling down, the first one you're going to see is the newer NW700 for 25 bucks, and it comes with a scissor arm. And that is what this microphone right here is, okay? I know you guys might not believe me, but says newer NW700. Keep going down. You're gonna see a lot of different microphones that all look kind of the same. I know there's one called like the Tonar that I've been seeing a lot. It's like bright blue. I think that might be what D-Lo has. So it's gonna be a different brand, but it's all the same microphone. Basically what happens is you can go to a Chinese manufacturer that makes these microphones and be like, I like that newer NW700 that you produce for newer. I want to buy a bunch of those, but with my brand name on it. I want you to put Spiffy mics on it or something like that. And as long as you have the money for it, they will make it for you. So a lot of these microphones, anywhere from like $25 to $100, are all going to be exactly the same in quality. And you're going to have to clean them up in post-production no matter what. Or live mixing and mastering. But like one of the most popular microphones, Audio-Technica AT2020. I've wanted this microphone for a long time. I have a couple friends that have them that don't know how to set up microphones properly, and my microphone sounds better than theirs. And it's not the microphone's fault. It's just all these microphones have the same internals, basically. I know the Audio-Technica has a little bit more compression in it to clean up background noise and things like that. But when you compare that to this $18 microphone, bang for buck, the $18 microphone's going to take it, you know? Like, it's just, that's how it's going to go. Microphones don't start getting really good at compressing audio and making your voice sound golden unless you get into like the $300 range. Like if you look at the microphones that like big podcasters like Joe Rogan and H3 use, that's going to be the Shure microphone. I can't remember the model, but it's like a $350 microphone. Now that's top notch. If you're not going to go with that, then stick at the $20 range because you're not going to see that big of a difference. So that's just my opinion. Let's move on. Getting this $25 microphone will be fine. It does come with a mic XLR cable to 3.5 millimeter jack, which is what you need to plug it into your motherboard. However, these microphones, and it will work that way. I used mine that way for a while and it sounded all right, but it was really quiet. So when I would play games with my friends, if Discord was too loud, then my stream wouldn't be able to hear me and they would hear Discord. And I couldn't turn myself up anymore, so I'd have to just turn them down a lot. And then people had trouble hearing me and them, even if they had the volume on Twitch turned all the way up. So that's going to be a real issue that you're going to run into, and it's not going to let you adjust your audio as much as you'd like. So one way to fix that is with a phantom power supply. So you can get these pretty cheap. This one's only 18 bucks, and it's not going to do anything to boost the quality of your microphone, but it will boost the volume. And at first you might even think that it's making your mic sound worse because you're going to hear a lot more noise, but that's okay because it's giving you more volume that we get to work with. So I do suggest getting one of these if you have one of these newer microphones. And if you wanted to save some money, you could buy it all in one go for only $40. That's going to be a steal. And so I do suggest doing that. You can get by with the 25 bucks if you want to do that for a while. But like I said, if you run into that issue where your stream's having trouble hearing you, you're going to want to buy a phantom power supply. If you have a really good motherboard that has really good onboard audio, like really good one that's you have the gold plugs in the back of your motherboard, then you actually won't need the phantom power supply. But most motherboards are going to need it. This is what I use. It's the Behringer Xenix 302 USB. This is a USB audio interface, and as you can tell, they can get very, very pricey. Behringer Euphoria is only 40 bucks. They have another one for 30. I don't know a lot about those. I'd have to listen to reviews and things like that. I know the Scarlett 2i2 is a very popular one. I know this one will clean up mic audio a lot. This Behringer that I have, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it cleaned up my microphone audio a little bit. It definitely cleaned up the background noise, and it also allows you to do adjustments on the fly. So like, I mean, this is how it sounds on all low, and then if I boost up the highs a little bit, it cleans up the audio and it lets you do a lot of adjustments. So that's why I like it. If you have the extra 30 bucks, I was able to get mine used off eBay for $35, so it's only $20 more than a phantom power supply. I would suggest it because it works as a power supply, so it gets rid of that, and it allows you to clean up your audio and make adjustments on the fly, which is really, really handy. If you're looking to do this as a podcast, this one wouldn't work because it only has one in. You're going to need a bigger one. They also have those. You could look it up. Next up, we're going to need to download Reaper plugins. The link will be in the description down below with a video on how to install it because I don't remember. I think it might just be a simple download, hit install, and then OBS finds it, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to link the link to this and a instructional video on how to install it, so I don't have to go through all that because this video is already going to be long enough. So go ahead and download that. Now there's a few other things that I'd like to talk to you guys about. So the swivel arm, not at all necessary, but very, very handy. My buddy Tyler, he bought a Yeti, and I kept hearing all of the little bumps and everything he was doing. I was hearing it, and I was like, man, you got to get the scissor arm because one, it's already going to cut down the little noises on your desk because it's elevated. It's not on the desk mine's still attached to my desk, so it's still going to get some of the desk audio, but it's already going to cut it way down. And then with that, also, the closer the mic is to you, the better you're going to sound. A lot of people have their microphones like floating way over here, and so they have to boost up the pickup on the mic so it can hear them at a decent audio, but that also picks up all of this noise around you. So bring your mic close to your mouth, get a swivel arm. That way, while you're playing, it's right here. If you're worried like me, sometimes I get like my nose gets all stuffy and I have to mouth breathe. That's not very appealing on stream. I got you covered. I'll help you guys fix it. But bring your mic close. It's going to immediately make it sound better. Do you hear that? Do you hear how much better I sound when I'm right here versus when I'm right here? Right? Anyways, let's go to OBS. Okay, so here we are in OBS. Now I'm going to have to do some cuts in this video so I could actually make adjustments because I don't want you guys to hear the echo. But basically, this is going to be the main part that we're worried about right now, and that is where your mic audio levels are. The goal is to get you in this yellow part right here without getting you in the red. Now, if I get really loud, you notice I still didn't hit the red. Every once in a while, like right there, I tap the red. You can see I tap the red. Every once in a while, I'll tap the red. And that's just the best settings I've found so far with my compression. And we'll get to that in a second. But your goal is to stay in the yellow, have your friends stay in the high green, have music stay in the low green. That's your goal, okay? Now let's get into the mic settings. So you're going to hit the little cog. We're going to go to filters. and this is where the magic happens. So let's listen to my microphone with no settings, okay? This is how my microphone sounds. Now, typically on any other day, you would hear my daughter probably, playing with her toys or screaming in the background, getting wild. Maybe I'll have my window open because it's hot here in Southern California. So I might have my window open, AC on. That's all going to cause noise. So streaming during the summer really sucks for me because I got these big lights to make my green screen look good. And I shut that window. I don't want any background noise. I don't need dogs barking in the background. I shut my door. I don't need to hear, my wife and daughter running around playing, doing what they're doing. I got to soundproof this room. So shut the window, shut the door. That makes a big difference right off the bat. Bring the mic close to you. That way you can have it. Well, now I'm hitting that red way too much. So bring the mic close to you, and then we're going to go to the next thing, which is going to help you guys out a lot. We're going to go to where your audio thing is at the bottom, the little speaker at your taskbar, and you're going to right click it, and we're going to go to damn it, gold glove, you motherfucker. Okay, we're going to go right click, and we're going to go to recording devices. So under recording devices, you're going to find your microphone, and you're going to right click and go to properties. Next, you're going to hit listen, and you're going to click listen to this device, and then hit OK. Now you're going to start hearing yourself talk. Talk to yourself. I know it sounds weird. You're going to want to talk to yourself. We're going to go levels, and mine just says microphone, but that's because I have my microphone plugged into the audio interface. You probably won't have that unless you chose to do the USB audio interface option, which is cool. Good job. But for those of you that didn't, you should have, it should say like microphone audio and then boost down below. Now your goal is to get both of those low as possible, but mainly the microphone audio you want as low as possible. So if I bring my audio down, you're going to hear it gets cleaner. Like if I bring it down like 90, it's going to clean it up because it's picking up less background noise. And then you want to use your dB boost to boost the output. For me, with the USB audio interface, if you did choose to do that, I have two knobs. If you have a Blue Yeti, I believe you guys have the same two knobs. One is gain and one is output audio. So if I turn up my output audio, I get really loud. Okay, I whispered to try to fight that, but if you turn up the output audio, that's going to turn up the output audio. Now the gain will give you the same effect, but it's before, it's like the early part of the mic, not the output, right? So it's the input. So if I turn up the gain, it's going to make the microphone very, very sensitive. So it will make it louder, but it also picks up all the noise in the background. So I'll give you guys a quick example. I'm going to turn down my output as low as possible. And now we're going to turn up the gain. Now you should tell my numbers are still in the yellow. So I'm still just as loud, but I'm sure there's more background noise. I can't hear it, but I'm banking on the fact that there's going to be a ton of background noise. So I'm going to turn that back down. I'm going to turn it all the way down. And then turn my output back up to where I'm in the yellow. And that's what you should do with the microphone settings. Imagine that microphone is your gain. You want to get that as low as you possibly can without making yourself too quiet, and then boost it with the dB boost to bring up the audio so people can hear you again. It takes some tinkering. I think mine, I went with like a 60 on the microphone audio and like a 20 on the dB boost, a 20% dB boost. Some microphones, if you check in the descriptions, it will tell you how to set it up to where it will give you the best audio quality, and they usually recommend what I just told you to do. But whatever microphone you buy, check the description and see if they tell you how to do that. Okay, I think we covered just about everything. I know I'm rambling a little bit. There's just so much to cover when it comes to microphones. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I may have skimmed over, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to try to respond to you guys and give you the best possible information. So now let's get to the VST plugins. Now, hopefully you have them all installed. If you see the compressor, the gain, noise gate, noise suppression, these are all included in OBS. We're not going to be messing with those because the Reaper plugins are better and they're free, so might as well just get better ones. To add them, you're going to hit the little plus button, go down to VST. at the very bottom, and we're going to rename it to whatever you want. You can take an example from mine. I just do EQ for equalizer, compression or comp for compression, sub EQ, which I'll get into a little bit later. I don't know what else to call it, but it's the adjustable EQ that I adjust preferably every stream, but it's not necessary. And then I have my noise floor, which I named floor. I'll explain more about what all of those things do. First, I'd like to say I'm not like an audio technician, engineer, anything like that. These are all things that I've just picked up watching other YouTube videos that I'm compiling into one YouTube video for you. So with that being said, name it whatever you want, hit OK. And then, so let's say I name this one EQ. We're going to go to where we get to pick our plugin, and we're going to go to re-EQ standalone, and we're going to hit open interface. Yours will not look like this. This is just how mine looks. Yours will look like this, just a flat bar. And I probably sound really different again. So I'm going to adjust it. But first, I want to make sure I can hear myself. So we're going to go, I'm going to go under my mic settings, go to advanced audio properties, and I'm going to go to mic and aux, and I'm going to put monitor and output. So now I can hear myself. Oh, this is going to sound real bad for you guys. Actually, no, it won't. There we go. Now you guys, oh my God, you guys shouldn't be able to hear me, but I can hear myself, which is really weird when I'm talking. Let's open it up and let's start editing. So the first one we're going to want is going to be we're going to want a high pass for number one. And you want this to be between 70 and 100. I found mine to be good at 100. Basically what that does is just cut off the low bass frequencies that nobody needs to hear. It's not going to cut your voice in and out, but it cleans up the audio a lot. Now next, let's go to 4, and we're going to add a low pass. This cuts out the high frequencies, and this, you probably noticed a huge difference when I did that, because it cuts out a lot of the ringing and noise in the room that you don't need. This one's a little bit too aggressive for my taste, actually. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like it at the 5,000. That's really aggressive. Normally you don't need to do that much. 10 to 12,000 gives you good clean audio usually, but 5,000 for my microphone sounds pretty good. Honestly, it cuts out a lot of the background noise, so I'm gonna keep it. Might even be able to go lower. That gets a little bit muddy. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to go 6. I don't want it to be muddy, which is what 5,000 would do, it sounded like. Yeah, see how it makes my voice just a little bit deeper, but not in a good way. Yeah, that's not good. We still want crispy voice. So let's go 65. Okay. That's going to be good for me. Again, mess with it. Get a friend's opinion before you go live. Record yourself in OBS like I am right now. Send it to a friend. Say, how does my voice sound in this? Because you might get that like golden voice like itch where you're like, yeah, I just want the bassiest voice ever. It doesn't sound good. Nobody likes it. Go watch my first FPS guide tutorial and listen to how garbage my mic sounds. It's because I had that same problem. Same microphone, but I wanted the bassiest voice, and it... Okay, so that was really cool. I just got done filming the whole video, and I'm editing it right now, as you can see here. And I realized my screen just went black because I hit one of my hotkeys to go to another scene on OBS, so you guys didn't get to see me walk you through these next 3 filters. So my EQ, let's go. This is where I wrapped it up. With the 4, I brought the 4 down to 6,500 because that's where I feel like it cleans up my audio without making my voice too muddy. If I'm being real, I should probably bring it up to like 75. Boom. And again, OBS switch scenes, but this time I was smarter. Okay, so after adjusting your number 4, your low pass, to where it cuts out just the high tones, but leaves your voice sounding nice and crispy and not too muddy, I like to go to number 2. Now, the frequency range, I like to keep this between 2 and 300, and I raise it just a little bit, just to give me a little bit more bass to my voice, but without, muddying it up, like I said. So I'm going to go up to like maybe 4, 3 let's go to like 3.9. There we go. And my goal here is just to make sure that like these 3 normal wavelengths right here are all kind of level. See that? I want to keep them in the same range. And then for number 3, we're going to leave this, number 2 and number 3 are both bands. We're going to leave it a band. We're going to leave it in the 1000 range, and we're just going to knock it down like -1, -2-ish. And that's just going to clean up some of the audio a little bit. But that's it for this. Pretty simple. And you can now close out of that. So there we go. Let me turn these guys off, and we're going to go to compression next. Okay. So let's go to compression. And then for that, we're going to go to VST plugin, and we're going to go to Recomp Standalone, which is going to be one of the first ones. So Recomp Standalone, we're going to open the interface. And now what I do is I sit here and pretend like I'm streaming, talking pretty normal to the microphone, like, hey guys, what's up? My name is Spiff. And then I'll be like, mother. Okay, you see how loud I get? So I'll be sitting here talking and seeing where my voice normally kind of sits, and then I put the compression at the higher end of that, where my peaks are at my normal voice, but not where my peaks are when I yell and cuss. Okay, I want that to be lower. So that's what I'm going to do. So you just drag that bar right there. Make sure that your ratio is 4:1. There's other ratios that you could pick. You can go 8:1, 3:1, 2:1. 4:1 is kind of like the default that everybody uses. I do suggest, if you're going to mess around with compression, that you should go watch somebody that knows a lot more of what they're talking about to maybe fix some of these other numbers. There's great tutorials. There's a guy that does voiceover for a living, and he does some Reaper plugin tutorials. I suggest you go and watch him. I'll link his videos in the description down below. But basically, ratio 4:1, drag this bar to the high end of where you normally talk, but not to the high end of your screaming. And what that's going to do is when you do go over, it subtracts it right here so you don't blow out your viewers' eardrums, okay? So perfect. That one's done. We're not going to spend too much time on that. This is sub EQ. Now this is where things get interesting. So we're going to use Refer Standalone. So REAFIR Standalone. What this is a live EQ, like smart machine thing. Okay, I don't even know what it is. This is the one that I suggest you change pretty frequently, because with the furniture moving around in your room and just with like how much trash you have on your desk, it's going to change the noise of your room. So this one you're going to want to change pretty frequently. Basically, edit mode, change it to precise. There's other ways, just precise. And then FFT size, I suggest 4,000 for most of you, because this can put a taxing load on your computer. So if your computer's not the best, 4,000 I don't think anybody really has a problem with. I did do 8,000 for a long time, and my computer handled it just fine, but I do have a higher end CPU with more cores. But 4,000 is what I'm switching to now. This one is going to add a delay to your voice, so you're going to have to go into your webcam settings and adjust the delay to where your voice matches up. You could do that by clapping and then just mixing, just adding or subtracting depending on how off the clap is. And you can do it by just recording videos and going back and viewing it. The mode that you're going to want to select is subtract. So basically we're going to let it take the noise of our room, and then it's going to subtract that from all of our audio in the future. Okay, so we're going to be very quiet, and we're going to check this box right here that says automatically build noise profile. That's good enough. Once it stops moving, you could stop it. The longer you go, the more accurate it will be, but the more chance that you might like have a thud or something that's going to throw it off. You just want the background noise. If your chair squeaks, it will mess everything up and make you sound super muddy. So once you do that, you're good to go. You just close out of that. And I like to put adjustable in the title so I know which one to change when my room environment changes. last, but certainly not least is the noise floor. Now, what we just did with the sub EQ, that's kind of a noise floor, but this one's going to be a little bit more aggressive. So we're going to open it up. And what I like to do here is I don't really mess with anything. Maybe my attack and stuff a little bit. I don't know what my defaults are, and I don't want to mess it up because I don't know. But this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to get super quiet, and I'm going to let the green bars show you guys where my noise levels are at right now. Okay, so pretty low. They're like down here. Now that's good. But let's say my nose is stuffy, and I'm in the middle of like a hectic battle, and I'm like, you don't want to hear that. So I'm going to adjust it to where it cuts that out. Okay, so that's pretty good. You don't want to go too high because then your voice will cut in. But yeah, so I like to cut out my nostril breathing. Okay, and so that sounds pretty good. I might lower it a little bit, but that way you could still hear if I whisper. It cuts out a little bit, but oh well. And then if my wife comes in and she whispers, it cuts most of what she says out, in case she tells me it's a secret or something. So I know this video was really long-winded, but microphones, there is so much, and so many people get really in-depth with it. I could go on for hours about microphones. So I'm hoping that this was short enough for you guys. And I hope that it helped a lot of you. If it did, please leave a comment down below and let me know if I skimmed over something a little bit too fast, or maybe I forgot something in my weird hecticness of recording this. You can let me know in the description down or in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys need help with, and I will respond to you as soon as possible and help you out there. If you guys are interested in more videos like this, like I know my green screen looks better than most people's. I don't have a lot of green around my edges and things like that. So if you guys have any questions about anything streaming related, feel free to leave a comment down below. And I hope that this video helped you guys out. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys. I love you. This has been Spiff, and I'm out. Peace.